Hello, welcome to GP Podcast. Let's just get right into it.
It's that question, isn't it? The one that's been at the heart of science fiction forever. What happens when a machine can actually outthink our very best, our brightest? That's always been the theoretical line in the sand, the point where everything changes.
Well, this week, that theoretical line wasn't just crossed, it was completely obliterated.
Okay, let's break down what happened. It all went down at the ICPC, which is the World Finals for the International Collegiate Programming Contest. You have to imagine this as, like, the Olympics for coders. It's this incredibly tough competition where the smartest young programmers on the entire planet compete.
But this year, there was a new competitor in the mix, an AI model from OpenAI. And it didn't just win. It solved every single problem, all 12 of them, a perfect score, something a human team has never done.
And this is what really puts that into perspective. The absolute best human team there, the cream of the crop, they managed to solve 11 out of the 12 problems, which is, by itself, a mind-blowing achievement. But the machine was perfect.
So you're probably wondering, how did they do it? Well, it wasn't just one model running the show. It was this really clever system. The new GPT-5 model generated a bunch of answers, and on its own, it tied with the best humans, solving 11 out of 12. But then they had this other, more experimental model that acted like a coach, sifting through GPT-5's answers, tweaking them, and finding the solution for that final impossible problem. And just to show you how intense this competition is, Google's top-tier Gemini model was also in the running and got a really impressive 10 out of 12. But OpenAI's system, it was just on another level.
But here's what's so fascinating. While AI is literally achieving superhuman feats in the world of coding, just look at what most of us are actually using it for. According to OpenAI's own stats, a tiny fraction, just over 4%, use it for programming. The overwhelming majority? We're using it for writing emails, editing essays, and getting practical advice. There's this huge gap between what this tech can do and what we do with it every day.
Of course, this kind of intelligence isn't going to stay locked up in the digital world for long. The race is officially on to bring it into our physical reality.
And Meta really went for it this week, showing off their new AI glasses. For $800, the promise was amazing, an AI that sees your world through your eyes, plus flawless video calls. The only catch? During the big live demo, both of those killer features failed, publicly. It's just a perfect reminder that taking this brilliant digital brain and putting it into clunky hardware, that's a whole different and much harder ballgame.
And this is where the plot of the week thickens. Because while the physical hardware is having, let's say, some growing pains, the speed of progress in pure digital creation, it's getting hard to even keep up with.
I mean, just in the past few days, Luma AI dropped Ray 3, their best video model so far. Then, not to be outdone, Alibaba released an open-source model called Animate 2.2 that is just shockingly good. The quality, the consistency, the way it handles details like hands, which has always been a nightmare for AI, it's unbelievable, and it's free for anyone to use. The quality is just going vertical.
So what's pouring gasoline on this already raging fire? Money. Absolutely staggering, almost incomprehensible amounts of money are being bet on what comes next.
Take the robotics company Figure. They just raised $1 billion, which pushed their valuation up to $39 billion. That's not just an investment, that's a bet that you're building the entire workforce of the future.
And just when you're trying to wrap your head around that number, then there's this. Elon Musk's AI company XAI just closed a $10 billion funding round, launching its valuation to $200 billion. I mean, these numbers are so big they start to feel like a joke.
And this chart shows you it's not just funny money. This cash is being spent on massive, real-world projects. Figure is building enormous datasets to train its robots. XAI is literally building something called a gigafactory of compute, a giant data center just for AI. Microsoft is plowing $30 billion into the UK just to build new supercomputers. This is a global arms race to build the actual physical infrastructure for this new intelligence. And all of it, the coding wins, the glasses, the video models, the insane amounts of money, it's all pushing towards one single ultimate goal, the final frontier. So it's really important we're all on the same page about what that goal is. AGI, or Artificial General Intelligence. This isn't just a smarter chatbot. This is the idea of a machine that can reason, learn, and create at a human level, or maybe even far beyond it. For decades, this was pure theory.
But this week, Elon Musk, fresh off that $200 billion valuation, came out and said this. He said that with his very next model, Grok 5, his company has a real shot at AGI. This isn't a whisper anymore. The people actually building the stuff are saying the quiet part out loud now.
And this isn't just bluster, we're seeing real, tangible signs. A Google AI was analyzing the physics of how fluids move, and it discovered new scientific principles, new types of singularities that human physicists had never seen before. That is genuine, novel discovery. And at the same time, Musk's Grok 4 model just topped the charts on a test designed to measure abstract reasoning, that very human-like ability to solve puzzles you've never seen before.
It really feels like the starting gun for the final lap has just been fired. A machine has now officially outperformed our best and brightest. The money being poured in is astronomical, and the people leading the race are openly talking about hitting the finish line. So the question isn't really if this is going to happen anymore, it's when. And what on earth happens to the rest of us when they finally cross it? If you liked the video, subscribe, leave a like, comment on what you like most, and share the video.